Slacking or staying healthy? Welcome to the Tacy 12-hour fun run challenge, day 17, 18, and 19. So to answer the first question, slacking, maybe a little bit on my daily recaps. To answer the second question, staying healthy, surprisingly, yes. And we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But again, welcome to the Tacy 12-hour fun run challenge, where I am preparing to do a 12-hour run with only 5 weeks of training. We are currently wrapping up week 3, which means we only have 2 weeks left, and it's kind of hitting me now that I really only have 1 week left to get good training in, because that last week is going to be a taper week and is going to be reducing load so that I can actually do this challenge on September 30th. So let's go ahead and jump into day 17, 18, and 19, workouts, nutrition, and some of that wrap up with the travel as well. First off, day 17, the halfway mark in the challenge, and it was a double doozy. Day 17, this was 2 days after I did my 30-mile run, which was a record for me. It's the longest distance I've ever run, and it was definitely pretty tough. And they say that you feel it the most 2 days later, which I can confirm because I woke up and I was absolutely beat. But I know that I needed to still get my mileage in. I went out, I did my run. It was around 7 miles. My stomach was all over the place. My body was absolutely exhausted. But I know that I needed to do it. I kept it slow. I kept it full recovery pace, basically just pushing myself forward. And as far as runs go, this might have been the least motivated run that I've had, but it doesn't always take motivation, it takes dedication. And today was the day that I definitely was not feeling motivated to go out and run. I was so tired, but I needed to do it. It was part of my training, and so I went out and I did it. For the second run of the day, it was going to be a longer workout, but I ended up shortening that one as well. Did another 7.5 miles. My stomach was it was still all over the place. Got a few longer strides in, tried to loosen up some of the muscles. Definitely held more of an aerobic zone pace, so a little bit faster than that morning session, but still focused on trying to feel better by the end of the run. So on, again, day 17, double doozy, 7.5 miles each, so 15 miles for the day. And pretty much the main purpose of that day was just getting my body back into a space that I could continue training, because the 30 miler definitely left me pretty exhausted. I was coming off of my second ever 100+ mile week. To finish off with 30 miles was tough, but also really satisfying. Day 18 was feeling a little bit better. Was still having some stomach issues though, and so just kind of had to fight through that one. The other thing that I recognized, especially during the day 17 workouts, was that my shoes were kaput. I noticed it a little bit during the 30 miler, and then when I did the 7 miler runs, they were gone. No cushion left. I've been doing a lot of miles in my Vaporflies, and although they are by far one of my favorite shoes I've ever put on, they don't last as long, and I definitely have well over 250 miles on them, which is about all they're good for. I could probably do some soft surface runs in them, but the bottom foam is actually starting to fall off the back, come apart from the rest of the shoe. And again, like the front of it is just hard as rock. So it was a new shoe type of day. And instead of getting another pair of Vaporflies, I actually ended up going with the Zoom Flies instead. They're supposed to be sort of the equivalent, but more for a training focus versus a racing focus. Again, the Vaporflies are probably the most comfortable, best pair of shoes I've ever put on my feet. I actually prefer them over the Alpha Flies, which a lot of people do claim to be better. And having raced in them, I think I might agree as far as a performance standpoint. But as far as comfort, day-to-day, tempo, efforts, speed work, the Vapor Flies I would buy over an Alpha Fly any and every day. And then again, because I am doing a lot more slower mileage and the Vapor Flies are still meant to be more of a speed and tempo based shoe, I went with the Zoom Fly, which is supposed to be a pretty similar structure with just more. It's supposed to be a little bit more durable. It's a little bit cheaper. And first impressions are that it's stiffer, has higher stack, and is definitely meant as a training shoe. I had my friend drop me off at the Nike store. I picked my shoes up and I actually ran 15 miles home in them. So made sure to break them in pretty well. Did a little bit of slow stuff at the beginning. My right foot was cramping up pretty bad, which, I don't know if it was due to the shoe. I was kind of feeling it the day before too. So could have been new shoes, could have been the fact that I had been training in shoes that didn't have any cushion. But the first 6 miles or so of the run, I had to stop every 2 miles to sort of stretch my foot out. But after that, it did get a little bit better. I did try getting some faster efforts in there, and even though it felt fine, it definitely didn't feel as smooth as the Vapor Flies. And so right now, I am going to continue training these, but as soon as I get home, I'm going to be adding another pair of Vapor Flies into my back into my rotation to use for faster workouts, and then planning on primarily using these for training longer runs, slower runs, and then using the Vapor Flies for my faster stuff. And on race day, possibly switching between the two every set number of miles. I'm not sure yet. I do plan to use at least two pairs of shoes on race day, or at least to have them, just to be able to rotate through them. Again, day 18 was about a 15-mile run. I ran home from the Nike store, tested out the new shoes, got the Zoom Flies. So far, so good. Day 19 was sort of more of an exploratory run. I was still honestly feeling pretty tired from, I think it's the general load having ramped up. I felt really good the first 2 weeks of training, even though I went from doing less than 20 miles a week all the way up to over 100 miles a week, which is a pretty impressive, pretty intense change in mileage. But honestly, I've been doing pretty well with it. I think some of the things that have helped is I've been using the Fuelin app right here. It has definitely helped me keep track of how much food I'm eating, getting my macros, and it's helped kind of make me orient myself towards getting the right type of food and the right amount. I still am not eating enough. Definitely not getting enough protein in, and so I've been kind of underfueled. And while traveling, I've been trying to get the right amount in, but it's definitely been a little bit more reactionary and less. I have not had as much time to plan out as I was hoping I would. I do plan to try and get a little bit more proactive once I'm in a little bit more stationary place. Once we got into LA here, it was a little bit easier to plan out, but we have still gone out a couple times, and I've done my best to track all of that stuff in the app. And so far, I mean, I do really love it. I think that it plans out meals, snacks, all of your nutrition recommendations for runs. So huge fan of it so far. Definitely plan on continuing using it throughout the challenge. And so I want to really thank them for sponsoring me for this challenge to help get the nutrition right. On that front, though, sleep hasn't been great. I still don't think I have been getting as much as I need. And I say I don't think I have. I know I haven't because I've been tracking it. But I've had a hard time stomaching enough to actually get in what I need. And so I think that all that load is starting to finally come in. Again, on top of my shoes lacking the cushion they needed as well. I think all that stuff just kind of compounded into this week. And after the 30-mile run I did at the beginning of the week, my body's just been kind of tired from it. And so this week has definitely been a little bit more going by feel and just trying to get my body back to a healthy zone. So day 19, overall, just went exploring on this run. Pretty much just went out to have some fun with it. I was running on some softer surfaces on trails, tried to find a different route because I've just been running by the beach, which is beautiful, but when you're logging this amount of mileage, it gets pretty old pretty quick. And so I went down to Torrance, ran along the coastline up on the cliffs, then found my way down to a rocky beach and then a sandy beach and then like a dried up cornfield and then this cool path that was between two roads. I have no idea where I was running, what I was doing, but I saw like 8 different terrains and it was pretty cool. But that run was just to go out. It was aerobic. It was no longer in the recovery zone, but it was still just going out for a sort of steady effort pace for, again, 13 miles. And then between the last 3 days, I've been doing a ton of walking on top of these runs. I know I haven't been tracking it, but the Airbnb we're at is just over a mile from the beach. And so pretty much every day, my friend and I have gone down to the beach, walked on the beach, walked to and from. So on top of the mileage I'm currently doing, I am doing a lot of walking as well. And I honestly think that's helping decently with some of the recovery, especially on some of these longer runs, is being able to walk them out. So that is going to wrap up sort of all of the activity for the last few days. As an additional note, if you've noticed this jacket here, this is my Interforce jacket, and it is fly and fantastic, and honestly, I absolutely love it. So short promo and shout out to Interforce Sports. If you want a jacket like this or any other custom wear, you can check out the link in the description below. I've been using Interforce for the last 5 years or so. I'm on their team. They started out mostly as triathlon, but they have cycling gear, running gear, general fitness wear, and they have fantastic designers. And when I say designers, I think it's one person, Yanni, and Yanni is fantastic, out of this world, all the praise. She is absolutely amazing. She's super patient. Her designs are absolutely on point. So again, if you have a team, if you're looking for custom wear for yourself, I definitely recommend checking it out. High quality, fantastic designs, and really just a great overall team, great company. They're very eco-focused as well. So if you want to learn more, drop questions down in the comment section below, or just go check out their website for yourself. I promise you will not be disappointed. And just briefly now to touch on nutrition. Since I've been here in LA, I've been able to get it a little bit more in line, focused, and planned out, in part thanks to the Fuelin app, which I mentioned earlier. But most of the times, we're just going to do a kind of brief overview of what I do. For breakfast, it's 2 to 3 eggs, toast, and oatmeal. My snacks throughout the day are generally Go Macro bars. They sent me a box, and they are one of my favorite snacks. I absolutely love them. I will say I tried using them during some long runs. They're not super ideal for in workouts, but post-workout, absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommend them. They are fantastic, family-owned, great business, great company, and great product. So love them. Those are my go-to snacks. I've been using Liquid IV to replenish electrolytes between workouts as well. No sponsorship there, but open to it if they find this video. And dinners have sort of just been we've gone out a couple times, so I've had anywhere from burgers and fries, chicken sandwiches. I think we had sushi one night, and so The dinners are a little bit out there, but I have been tracking them as well. Even, no matter how much I try, I still have not been able to actually meet the set goals yet. And so that is going to be on the to-do list for the next couple weeks of really trying to hone in, especially the last 2 weeks of this challenge, because nutrition is going to be absolutely key. It's one of the things I'm probably most nervous about, especially on race day, just making sure to manage my stomach. But overall, feeling pretty good, starting to feel recovered. Again, day 17, 18, 19 was pretty beat from my 30-mile run at the beginning of the week, but we are now in the back half of the challenge. We are rocking and rolling, starting to feel better, and I am excited for this 12-hour fun run at the end of the month. Thank you all for staying tuned. Love you all. Happy training. If you have questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below, and we will talk to you next time.